I want you to paint a picture in your mind. I want you to stay with me. I want you to be with me for some moments and let us travel in time. Not necessarily time, but travel in time. You get a picture. Just be with me. You're in a meeting, a party preferably. You have a glass of wine and people drinking and just catching fun. And people are introducing themselves. And this guy is like, oh, my name is John. Oh, my name is Peter. My name is Stacy. My name is Sandra. You know, people introducing themselves. And in introducing themselves, they talk about what they do. And one says, I'm an accountant. I basically do accounting stuff. Like I'm a tax collector, whatever. And they're like, wow, great. I bet you do take people's taxes. What do you do to people who don't pay taxes? Oh, we do this stuff to the people who don't pay taxes. And then everyone asks their different question. People laugh and you laugh. When they answer, you laugh. Everybody smiles and they ask questions and they smile and they laugh. There's nothing confusing. Someone says it's a doctor. They're like, wow, what kind of doctor are you? Say, oh, I'm a surgeon. I operate people. I'm a neurosurgeon. I operate on the brain. They're like, wow, great, incredible, nice. How is it for you? Is it demanding? Tasking? It's demanding. It's a lot. But when it gets to being you, they ask you, what do you do? You pause. You look around at everyone and you look back into your mind and you look back at them again and you breathe. You swallow your saliva. Mm. Ah, and you are calm. And someone in the crowd is bold enough to ask you the question again, even though they know that you had the question and you're taking your time. And they make the place more awkward. And so you don't want to be like the guy who has something fishy. You said you decide to answer. And you tell them, I am a writer. A writer? Wow. How many books have you published? They ask. Um, None, actually. And if you say you've published a book, they ask you, what's the name of the book? What's your name? Now, these people ask these questions, even though they know that they don't read books, they expect that they will know your name because if you're a writer, you should be popular. They should know you, even though there are different forms of writing. Ah. And so you tell them, well, I have not been published, or my name is Mechi, blah, 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 whatever your name was, or your name is. And you say you're not published, and you could see at that very moment on their faces that they're like, he's not really writing, dude. And then they ask you, how much do you make? And you're like, I don't really make, I don't really make, I don't really make that, I don't really make that much. I don't really make any money. I don't make money. I've never made money. You want to scrape to them and tell them, please, there's a lot that you think you know about this profession that is not what is in the profession. All these things you think you watch in the movies is not what happens in the real life. But you don't want to be that guy who spoils the party. So you shake your head and you nod and you tell some white lies and you nod. But at the end of the day, it makes us wonder why people really want to know if writers are published. What does it have to do with being a writer? What's the whole idea behind getting published with being a writer? Hello, everyone. In today's episode, we'll look at the need for validation and we'll look at many reasons what the validation is all about, the concept about for writers, what it means to get validation, how writers can get validation, and if validation is important or not, and what's this relation to craft, and more. So right now, that I would love to ask a favor from you. I want you to follow me on whatever platform you're listening to and review the podcast, it helps me to get in front of more persons. I say more persons or more people. I have no idea what I'm saying, but it helps me to get in front of more. Oh God, more persons. Something about more persons doesn't just sound right. Okay, to get in front of more. Oh, but you get the point, dude. Did I say sorry? I'm not supposed to call you dude, but you get the point. Just rate, review. If you love the podcast, share it. I'm asking for many things, but just do one. You don't have to do everything. But if you do everything, that's great. But just do one. Follow. Ask a question. Review. Whatever you want, do. That way, it gives me feedback that what I'm doing is considered value on the other end of the of the AirPod or EarPod or whatever thing you're listening on. Okay, back to the need for validation. Why is it that people were looking for people to get published? Why? Why is it that they hinge on being published? Even though right now the world of publishing has so much changed that it's so much easier to get published. Like I could write something crap, I could write a piece of crap and just publish it. I tell you that I am a published author. I have published 5 books to my name, and people are like, oh yeah, he's a writer. And then another writer who's out there and is reading certain books and probably reading for some magazines, not so much as other platforms, but even on magazines it's being published. But he has written and he writes well. He's a good writer, but he has not been published. So we look at him and like, he's not really professional per se. I don't know what professional means, but we know when we see that feeling. Did I say see feeling? When we see that look, we know it's just there. It's something that if you've seen it before, you recognize it, and it's more like the people asking, "We need more evidence. We can't believe what you said. We don't believe you." You're like, yeah, I am, and most of the times we end up defending ourselves more and more, and then sometimes we just like say we don't really care, but deep down we know that, oh yeah, yeah, if we had the evidence, it would be great. It's not gonna do any bad thing to us. Yeah. So why is it that people ask or need us to get published as writers? Now we look at all the professions. There's one form and one way to see that these people are the best of the best. Take for example, if you're a chef, you get Michelin stars and like, oh, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star, 5 star. Is it a restaurant? What do you call the place? You're like, oh yeah, this is a great restaurant. Is it a restaurant? Yeah. But as a writer, we need to get published. Now, the whole idea of published means a lot of things. The first, publishing means that a bunch of other persons who have been in the game maybe longer than you have considered your work good enough to be posted on a platform, to be printed on as hard copy, or whatever format the publishing means for you. So the harder the platform is, the higher and the harder it is to get into that platform, the more um, the more weight the publishing credit means for you. Take for example, if you published on uh, J my lovely literary magazine.com. If you publish there, yeah, nobody really knows that stuff. Nobody really knows that stuff. It's great, it's fantastic, but nah, it, it doesn't really cut it. So it doesn't really mean much. But if you get to publish on the New Yorker, Granta, it means a lot because first, it's harder to get published in these platforms, and second, these platforms have been around for a long time, and these people who are managing these platforms are they're like the top of the top. That when they decide that your work is good, we're like we've offset the decision making to these people who know the stuff. I don't know if you get it. So if I was a non-writer, I'm just an average Joe, and I realized that oh, he has been published in the Granta, the New Yorker, the top on the top, the la cream of the cream de cream. I'm like, wow, incredible. It means those people consider him good enough. Then he must be good. He should be good, assuming that I did not buy my way to get published. Assuming, assuming. So, at one point in time, individually, aside the fact that we publish our work to get recognition, to be recognized as a professional, aside that fact, even though a lot of arguments will come up and say, no, we shouldn't, that shouldn't be the reason to be a writer, that shouldn't be that, that shouldn't be that, which I will talk more in coming episodes. But as assuming you've published a work individually as a writer, depending on the magazine that published you, you start asking yourself some questions. Why was I published? Was I published because my work was incredible? Because my work was good? Or because my work was complete nonsense? Okay. Was it luck? Or can I rewrite again? So you write the first time and the second time you were like, oh, can I get published again? Or was it just one of those lucky breakthrough moments? Can I rewrite a form of writing that will be as good as the first one that I published? Now you're in a dilemma. You're asking yourself, am I a one-hit wonder? Yes, we need to know. Am I a one-hit wonder? Now, you try to write and sometimes you write and the work is not as good and then nobody accepts your work again and you feel that, oh, I was just lucky, I am not good enough, I can't write something that's good again, this and so many stuff that comes up in your head, and the resistance is just speaking and speaking and talking and trying to object and get in the way of the art, and it tells you that you're not good enough even though your work was accepted. Yeah, the magazine was really, really good. Now, for those of you that gets published, I say those of you because I am not yet published. Maybe in the future episodes I will be published, but for now I'm not. You are battling with that voice, but remember something: that the fact that you did it, you have your own evidence. For most people, they do end up doing great things based on the evidence of other people doing great stuff. So the fact that other persons wrote, other persons who did not have English as their first language, other persons who did not start writing at a young age, other persons who were not so the best of the best, those persons were the source of inspiration for them becoming better and great writers. Right now, you have your own evidence. The evidence that you did it the first time and you can do it again. It is not the evidence of other persons. It is the evidence of you. So I just feel that the evidence, my own evidence, my own evidence of me doing something, I think is greater evidence than someone who did it and I feel because he did it, I can do it. Now, feeling that someone who did something that you can do it too, it's great. It's one of the reasons why most great writers and famous writers inspired. It's great, but I don't really see any greater evidence than I did it before, I can do it again. That's for those who have been published. What about us? We have not been published. We submit a work and we get that rejection mail and like say, "Oh, dude, I'm sorry, your work wasn't the right fit for us." Why do all literary magazines sound the same? Like your work wasn't right for us. Consider somewhere else. And you submit 20 other magazines. Yeah, I'm sorry, your work wasn't good enough for us. Consider somewhere else. And at the point you start asking yourself, is my work not good for you, or is my work not just good? Tell me straight to my face. Don't pass through corners to insult me. Go straight to the point. Is my work trash, or is there really an or? What's so special about my work? Why do they have to make me feel like my work is good? But we've seen time and time and time again works that have been rejected. They've gone on to become masterpieces. They've gone on to become